Shadour Sanders was named QB2 today, but why did it take so long? I'm going to tell you why. Because it's frenemies in the front office in the Cleveland Browns organization. We're going to talk about it. So, of course, everyone rejoiced. Everybody in the media, all the Sander maniacs got what they wanted. Shadour Sanders is QB2. But how did we get to that point and why did it take so long? Well, it all started in April. The end of April, May, whenever the NFL draft was, when we saw this uncomfortable picture of Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski looking like a couple that was there for their kid at a recital and they really didn't like each other. That's when all the drama started. And what we're learning is that while it hasn't been completely confirmed, each person had their guy. And Kevin Stefanski, you could tell, wants someone like himself. And that was Dylan Gabriel. They call him the human computer. He could digest everything and everything else. And when you look at Kevin Stefanski, he's like a computer himself. Andrew Berry seems like he wanted Shadour Sanders, which is the reason why we saw Jimmy Haslam say what he said. What did Jimmy Haslam say? I didn't make the pick. Because he tried to keep his hands clean, because it sounds like you have a civil war going on in the Cleveland Browns organization. What else is new? It seems like this is a reoccurring theme every other year. But these guys, Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, has been on the same page for years. They've been in lockstep. Whether they're winning or losing, they've been in lockstep. But now what we're seeing is it's friction up front. Because now it seems like guys are trying to save their jobs. And me personally, Kevin Stefanski is going to end up being the odd man out, being that Andrew Berry has had a really good draft. This draft, it looks like a promising class. But he's been bad for the most part before this draft. Well, we'll see if Shedeur is a quarterback at some point here this season. But has not been able to draft a quarterback. I don't know who made the Deshaun Watson decision. That's been all over the place. I think Kevin Stefanski, I don't think initially wanted him, but he went with it. Barry wanted the deal to get Deshaun to push the Browns to that next level. And I think Jimmy Haslam just backed up the Brinks truck to get over top of everybody to get Deshaun. So I think that's how that went. But you could tell that Kevin Stefanski was surprised by the Joe Flacco deal. You could tell Kevin Stefanski was surprised by the Greg Newsome deal. These were pretty big deals. Joe Flacco was just your starting quarterback last week, and now he's gone, or the week before, and now he's gone. Then Greg Newsome, who had elevated his game, was traded away pretty much in the middle of the night. And if you see Kevin Stefanski's press conferences, he's like, I don't know what the hell happened. You know what I mean? So I don't think these guys are on the same page. I think these guys are playing for keeps individually at this point. I think Andrew Berry said, hey, I want to keep my job in Cleveland. And Kevin Stefanski, like, I don't want this put on me, because I've heard a lot of Kevin Stefanski supporters like, hey, he's never got the quarterback he wanted. So if this is him wanting Dylan Gabriel at this point, I can understand that point, because he's like, hey, I inherited Baker. I inherited Deshaun. I've never been able to pick my quarterback. Now, do I think Kevin Stefanski's offense is stellar than an old pack of crackers? Absolutely. I've been saying this for years. But he does have the right, if you're going to keep him in that building, to get him the guy that he wants. So if Dylan Gabriel is the guy that he wants, he should be able to work with Dylan Gabriel and get him to whatever level that he feel like he can get him to. Now, can Kevin Stefanski develop quarterbacks, in my opinion? No. I think he can get them to a basic level of function. I don't think he can raise their game. I don't think he's that guy. But I think this just goes to show that the Browns organization is the most dysfunctional organization in football. And if somebody can tell me what Paul DePodesta does, I mean, I'll give somebody $50 if they can tell me what he does and not his legal title. Because he looks like Tommy from Martin. He ain't got no job. And I just don't know what he does. So it's just a lot of things that we don't know about in Cleveland that just comes out and you just like, oh, really? This organization is just so goofy. I just got to call it what it is. And now it's starting to look like we're seeing infighting from the two Ivy League grads, and Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry. And I think one of them going to have to go. I think one of them is going to have to go if they don't get fired together, depending on how this season turns out. Because it seems like both guys are linked to their respective quarterbacks. Which, like I said, I think Berry wanted Shedeur, and I think Stefanski wanted Dylan Gabriel. That's why it looks so disjointed. And I made videos when this happened. What are the Browns doing? Then Kevin Stefanski was interested in Kenny Pickett. He wanted him to be his project. Then they just up and traded Kenny Pickett because he was hurt for a few weeks. I don't know. It's the Browns. I can try to get a reporter on, and maybe they can give me some extra information. If you guys are interested in that, you let me know in the comments below. But this is just typical Cleveland. So now Shedeur is quarterback 2. Dylan Gabriel is going up against a rejuvenated Pittsburgh Steelers defense. So we'll see how he fares in that game, especially if Quinshon Junkins can't get going and they sit down on that run game and he has to pass the ball. And if he doesn't do that efficient, how many Browns fans are going to be at that Pittsburgh Steelers game to start chanting Shedeur's name? This is a whole mess in itself. This is typical Cleveland. And I have nothing else to say about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I don't know. To the next video. Peace.
Mr. Han, suddenly I like to leave your island.